What's good? Good morning. Yesterday, one of my coworkers asked if I dyed my beard. I chuckled and just said no. For once, I actually put beard oil in. I'm really bad at taking care of myself. I'm trying to be better, though. Kind of connected to the topic of this video, and no excuses. Like, I need to take responsibility for my life, but at the same time, I do want to talk about the way certain things affect me. And one of those things is the loss of fraternity that I've experienced, sort of gradually over the last 15 years or so. And I often talk about it sort of in conjunction with watching Seattle just turn crazy. Like, I understand Seattle's always been liberal, but I didn't understand at a younger age the sort of trajectory of liberalism to more extreme versions of leftism, socialism, communism, all the weird things in between, democratic socialism, all the ways they try to beautify an extraordinarily ugly idea in collectivism. And so I experience a tremendous amount of sadness, and there's an emptiness that I feel as a result of not having strong fraternal friendships and bonds in my life, particularly like legitimately local close connections with guys I can go hang out with. The title of this video, I'll say, I don't love them like I used to love you, because I am on a work crew with a few guys that I do love, like we have fun and I love them, but I don't love them like a deep, dear bro. They are kind of bros, but and they're cool, they're funny, everything, but when shit hits the fan, they are also just retarded leftists. And while we can get along, and work together and have fun without ever really having issues, drama, we've just learned to just not talk about politics and not talk about important things. And occasionally a little jab or barb will, comment, a quip will, sneak through, and it happens both ways. I do it and they do it, left to right, right to left. But, it's sad because I truly wish I had a good circle of man friends that we could talk about the deeper issues, the harder issues, to where we could just talk about. There's a meme, I won't clip it in because I got to get to work here in a minute, but it's a group of philosophers, picture like the guys in the togas. You could imagine it's like Socrates and whatnot. And it says, me and the boys thinking about thinking. And I love that so much because, yeah, you can just spend hours just discussing like this whole concept of thought and consciousness and the emergence of things like logic and reason. It's so much fun. It's so much fun. Like, what is truth? Like Plato's Republic, for example. What is truth? What is justice? What is good? What is right? All of those things. And I love it. But for the last 15 to 20 years, most of my Seattle guy friends it's a pretty common pattern, have met stupid fucking liberal white women girlfriends who slowly just picked away at them and destroyed them. I'm not going to name any names, but I got a few friends in mind that, one friend in particular I know lives just across the bridge in Seattle, and he was one of my best friends, but his girlfriend is so super liberal, and it's so sad because he was in the military, he was a badass, like he was jacked, but and this has happened to multiple guy friends, where they just sort of become like bitches. Just whatever their wife says they agree with, or worse yet, they will just stay quiet to keep the peace. That is such a emasculine, beta bitch move, to just avoid conflict because you want to continue occasionally getting probably some very mediocre sex. When you've got to the point where when your wife, your girlfriend, she just knows that you're kind of a cuck, you're kind of a bitch, I feel like there's got to be a switch somewhere. And, you know, I don't want to get too far into it, but I have to, and maybe I'm projecting because I have zero sex life and no girlfriend and no prospects. So like maybe I'm projecting out into that, but it's really, really sad. And when I don't have like strong fraternity around me and I don't have strong, I guess, like, would it be sorority to say like just I don't have good feminine friends around me either? It's isolating and it's lonely. And when I'm in these cycles of this loneliness and this isolation, I don't take care of myself. I don't shower as much as I should. I'll let my diet slip. Community has so many benefits I didn't fully appreciate or comprehend until I had lost all of my community. But I didn't realize how much of sort of my motivation and my desire to be my best version of myself stemmed from motivation to be a good, contributing, positive member of a community. And then to compound all of the issues, when you see that your male friends are sitting by or enabling evil, so they're sitting by watching evil take over the planet, or they're encouraging and enabling it tacitly or directly, it's really sad to see men I used to love and respect and would go to battle for in a heartbeat, would die for in a heartbeat, to see them become so weak, so pathetic. It's sad. And I don't like, even when I said the word pathetic, I didn't like saying that. It's because I can't explain it, but I don't want to feel that way towards them. And so I think, you know, the next step is to just move on, which I mostly have, but not entirely, hence the making of this video. I've mostly moved on from the sadness, but I find myself in this situation where I am going to move away from Seattle eventually. I just yesterday bought 5 acres of land in Tennessee with a loan, so I didn't pay cash. I'm a working class man. I will always, even if I won the fucking lottery, I would be a working class man. Don't know who's calling me. Anyways, okay. So, mostly moved past it. I will eventually move, but what do I do for the next 3 to 5 years? I'm still in this shithole of Seattle. And I'm sorry I called Seattle a shithole. It is pretty freaking beautiful here. And there are a lot of cool things. The people just ruin it. And I just wanted to, you know, okay, hold on. So I was going to just mention, you know, I'm inspired by Jesus and other mythological historical figures. I've been learning more about Zarathustra or Zoroaster, you know, the Buddha, there's Lao Tzu, there's so many cool historical figures. And a lot of them teach things like compassion, and I do want to have compassion, but at the same time, if you're too compassionate towards evil, it'll just take you over. It'll kill you. And so, seeing so much evil in the world, it's a really hard thing to compartmentalize. Compassion for people who are enabling evil, and then I'm not even actually a Christian. So, like, if I was a Christian, I could just find a church, and I could likely find people I agree with. But I don't really vibe with the church, and I don't really vibe with actual Christianity either, which is so unfortunate. I think they're a little bit less crazy than the far leftists, but they're still pretty fucking crazy. You know, and they're just the whole anti-gay thing, and just, half of the people who are so anti-gay are actually closeted gays, which is another friend of mine actually, or old friend, that I'm like, I'm pretty sure you're just secretly gay, and that explains so much. But, you know, and we're not friends anymore because, you know, he doesn't approve of my marijuana usage and other lifestyle choices that I make. And it's just sad. And I've made this video several times, and this is just me getting a video out for today, just trying to be consistent. Someday I'm gonna have a good, strong group of male friends, and I'm gonna have a good, strong community, and we're gonna do what we can to lift our community up. And that's the goal in life. Thank you very much for listening. Check the description for links to get some merch or to support me in other ways to help me pay off my land so I can use that land to give back and build community. Thank you very much. Much love.